Good morning, gang. Happy Saturday morning. Okay, come out Friday night again, as usual. This is when stuff flies out. America Last, the next chapter. We can now see that the left, the Democrats, the liberals, at least the liberal wing, wants to put you aren't important. Let's just put it this way. Protecting your country isn't as important as flipping burgers. Why do I say that? Well, last night, the House of Representatives passed the NDAA, okay, the National Defense Authorization Act. And, well, I'm not going to go into everything that's in it because there are some negatives in there. You need to know what the left thinks of our military, okay? In the NDAA, the Republicans passed a 19.5% pay raise. It's a big pay raise for lower enlisted people, E1 through E4. And I'll explain this in a second. And then a 4.5% pay raise for the rest of the military. Okay. Now, let's talk about E1 to E4, what that is. Now, granted, I'm going to give you how it worked when I was in. It may have changed, but I'm betting it's still pretty simple. E1, when you go in, buck private, okay, you have no college, you're straight out of high school, you go in as an E1, okay? You will last on that rank, provided you're not a screw-up, for 6 months, and you'll get promoted to E2, okay? Still private. In another 6 months, you will be promoted to E3, which is a private first class. So you're now 1 year into the military, and at least in the Army, it's a private first class, okay? You're 1 year into the military, you are in E3, okay? Spend a year as a private first class, and you will get promoted to E4. So you're 2 years in, and you are now a specialist. That is the rank, okay? Or some make corporal, but most of them will make specialist. Chances are, if you perform well, PT tests, rifle range, sergeant major's interview, other things, you will make or have a chance to make, because it depends on points, E5 somewhere before your 4th year, but right about, usually very close to your 4th year in, okay? The end of your tour, you could be up for E5, okay? So an E4, the highest, lowest enlisted rank you're going to make, chances are you're going to be at that rank for less than 4 years, okay? So this is the group that is getting the 19.5% pay raise. So the highest rank that's getting this raise is E4, and the highest pay you would get is under 4 years service. With this 19.5% pay raise, their annual pay would be $41,800 a year. Okay? If you flip burgers at McDonald's in California, or work at any other fast food place, your annual pay is $40,000 a year. And you get your 2 weeks vacation too. So that's why you're not getting paid for those other 2 weeks, where of course you would make another $1,600, which would make you make $41,600, okay? But if you didn't take a vacation, you made $41,600 as a burger flipper, or $41,800 as a 3-year plus E4 in the military. Remember all the comments that we have heard about, they need to get paid a living wage, right? I guess $41,800 is a dying wage, because there's a lot more chance, especially under Joe, of being in a combat situation. I don't know, maybe unless you're working McDonald's in Oakland, California, a lot more chance of dying as a soldier in the military, sailor, airman, Marine, whatever, okay, than there is working at McDonald's. In there, in the NDAA, they also included funding for 2 Virginia-class submarines. They included a funding for a drone force, not like a separate branch of the military, but drones. Okay, being in the 21st century military. They removed the government-paid abortions for the military. They removed transgender surgery for the military. And they removed all the, paid for by the military, and they removed all this DEI crap. It passed the House on a party line vote, okay? 217 to 199. There were some that didn't show up for the vote, whatever, but 217 to 199. That's how it came in. So now the next step is to go to the Senate, where Chuck Schumer runs the Senate, the Democrats, because they run it right now. The Democrats have said they aren't even going to consider this for a vote. Okay. Right now, your average E4 in the military makes somewhere around $36,000 a year. Okay. And before anybody comes up and says, oh, they get free housing and they get free food where the McDonald's worker doesn't, okay, one of the other things in the NDAA was to rebuild barracks because the living conditions were substandard, okay, and okay, you get chow hall food. I'll give you that. Great. People at McDonald's, I'm betting they get meals paid when they work too. Okay. But so the Democrats have said they're not going to fund this. Not because of the submarines. Schumer didn't say anything about the pay raise, of course. But, because the Republicans are anti-LGBTQ, they're anti-abortion, they're anti-environment. I'm like, oh my God, get over this. Okay. Pass the damn bill. Give the troops who are protecting us decent pay. The majority of lower enlisted in the country who have families, okay, have to go to food banks to feed their family. They're getting WIC. They're getting food stamps. These are the people in the military. The next time your congressman, your senator, is in your neighborhood doing a town hall, and God knows they're running around like chickens with their heads cut off right now, trying to drum up vote. Next time you see them, ask them in front of the crowd, do you believe the military deserves a pay raise? And every one of them, of course, answered yes. And then if a Democrat representative, ask them why they voted against it. Put them on the spot. If they're a senator, ask them why it wasn't even brought up to vote. Most people won't know this. Most people don't pay attention to this. But the people that defend this country, and trust me, that's going to wind up happening pretty soon, whether it be all the military-age males coming across the border, whether it be China strolling in, whether it be Iran nuking us, or God forbid, whether or not Joe winds up sending us to Ukraine, okay, or Israel. You think these kids deserve to at least be paid the same amount as a guy that says, would you like fries with that? It's despicable that the Democrats are going to reject this, are not going to push this through. There's a whole lot of people in this country who've signed that check, up to and including the value of their life, for your freedom. They need our voice at this point. We need to tell our representatives they need to pay these guys correctly, as opposed to voting for themselves for a raise, which they were trying to do that this week. Maybe they should pay the military. Because you know what? If there's anybody in this country that deserves a raise, it's those guys. Pinball out.